Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the day 10 of our computer vision series. The link of the playlist is in the description below, so make sure to check out the entire playlist. Today we're going to do our first project in OpenCV, and trust me, it's going to be a good one. Since this is just a beginner level project, we are not going to go into using very complex libraries like TensorFlow, like that PyTorch, or using complex algorithms. We are going to create a color detector using simple Python and simple OpenCV functions that we have been talking about in our previous lectures as well. So it's going to be very fun, and I have created a color detector for detecting the yellow color, but we can create it for any color. Before starting talking about how to create this project, let's first see the output or the result of it. So in this one we are going to use a webcam, and I will show you how it looks like. Okay, so yes, so this is the yellow color, and see, you're getting a perfect bounding box around your yellow colors. So this is also a banana, and it is also detecting this banana as well as the mango or any yellow color that we have. So this is, I think, a very good project for as a first project. So let's get started. So we are going to use three libraries. We are going to use our OpenCV, we are going to use NumPy, and we're also going to use our Pillow library. So if you guys have not installed these libraries, you guys can do it by writing this line inside your terminal, and it will install all that for you. I have also created another file which is called as util.py, and it has only one function which is called as getLimit. This is going to be very helpful, and we're going to use this in our project. I will explain it to you what it does and how are we going to use it later in the video. So let's get started. Let's come back to our main.py file and let's start coding. So the first and the foremost thing that we need to do is to code for our webcam so that we can read our webcam. So to do that, I'm going to import my OpenCV, then I'm going to read my webcam using the OpenCV function which is called as video capture. Once I do that, I have to specify the webcam number that I'm using. Since I only have one webcam and I'm using that one, that is why I'm going to name it as 0. But if you have more than one webcams, you can number it as 1 or 2 depending upon it. Since the webcam has unlimited frames, that is why I am going to use the while true loop, and inside it I'm going to read the frames one by one. The detail of how to read from the webcam was explained in my day 2 video, so you guys can check it out if you haven't. So I'm going to read the frames one by one. So once I've read the frames, then I'm going to visualize them using the imshow function of OpenCV. I'm going to call it as webcam. You guys can call it anything that you want to, and I'm going to visualize the frame. And then if you guys remember, we are going to add a condition over here that if the OpenCV wait key is 1 and uh, the user presses the the Q key, he should quit. Okay, because we need something to break from the loop, right? So to do that, we are going to add this condition that if the user presses the Q key, he will exit or break from the webcam. Then the last step is we are going to release all the resources that were occupied by our webcam, and lastly we are going to destroy all the windows as well using the OpenCV function. This is it. Let's see if this is working or not. So yeah, this is just our webcam. It's working perfectly as it should. Okay, so now we are going to code, or we're going to program in such a way that it detects the colors, it detects the yellow color. But how we're going to do that? Before talking about how to code for the color detection, let's first understand something. So if you guys remember, when we talked about color spaces, we talked about the BGR color space, we talked about the HSV color space. So I told you one thing, that each color space has its own use cases and has its own applications. By default, when you visualize any image or when you visualize using the webcam, any image that you get is a BGR image. A BGR image has three channels: blue, green, and red. In the same way, we have an HSV channel as well. HSV stands for hue, saturation, and value. So this is the HSV color space representation. HSV color space has a very important application in color detection. Okay, so whenever we are talking about object detection or color detection, we are going to prefer the HSV color space over the BGR color space. So that's one thing. We need to convert our BGR image into the HSV color space so that we can better create a color detector. We can create a better color detector. Now over here, we have three channels as well, but we're not going to use all these three channels. We're not concerned with all these three channels because if you can see, over here, value is concerned with the brightness of the color, whether the color is dull or whether it's very bright. Saturation is concerned with the intensity or the purity of the color. How much of the blue element is there? What is the intensity of the blue color, for example, or what is the intensity of the specific color that you are using? This is going to be very pure. This is going to be very not pure at all. So, but we are not concerned with saturation and value. We don't have to go into that much detail. What we are concerned with is the hue channel of the HSV. Why? Because the hue channel is the one that controls the color. If you can see, think of it as a cylinder. This is the value, this is the saturation, but this is the hue which is controlling the colors. Like it was light blue, it was dark blue, then it's purplish, pinkish, reddish, yellow, and green. So hue is the channel that is controlling the colors in the color space. So we are going to use this hue channel if we want to create a color detector. If we view this circle, if we view the cylinder from the top, we are going to get something like this. Okay, so if you can see, if I have a pixel that lies here, is going to have a different value of a hue channel, and if I have a pixel somewhere over here, it's going to have a different value for the hue channel. So all these values, all these different colors are representing the values of the hue channel for me, because a hue channel is concerned with the colors, right? Okay, so this is clear as well. Now let's talk about what if I want to create a color detector for my yellow color. If I want to create my color detector for my yellow color, do I need a single pixel that represents the yellow color? I don't think so, because if you can see closely, all this region over here represents the yellow color. It's not just one pixel. If I create a color detector by telling it only about one pixel value, one hue channel value, then it's not going to give me a good color detector. It's going to be very specific to that one specific shade of yellow. So obviously, this is not a good approach. So if I want to create a good color detector, I have to tell this the program the entire range, and we can do this. This is also another representation of my HSV color wheel, and if you can see, all these three areas are representing the yellow color. So if I want to code my program in such a way that it can detect any shade of yellow, I have to tell it two things. I have to tell it this limit, and I have to tell it this limit as well. Like I have to tell two intervals to my program, and I have to tell my program that any pixel value or any hue channel value that lies between this interval is to be considered as a yellow color. Or for example, if I'm trying to detect a red color, so I'm going to tell my program that any pixel value that lies between these two interval values is to be considered as a red object. Okay, you have to detect that object. So this is what we are going to do. Okay, we have the color wheel. We just need to tell our program two values, the upper value and the lower value, and we have to tell the program that any pixel value that lies within it is to be considered as your yellow object. Okay, so coming back to our program, so first thing, we need to convert our BGR image to HSV image, because HSV is good for color detection. So we are going to use the OpenCV function, which is called as convert color. And over here, we're going to pass the frame, which is obviously our image over here. And we are going to convert our image from BGR to HSV. And we're going to call it as the HSV image. Okay. So once we have converted our image, what we are going to do is we are going to use the OpenCV function, which is called as InRange, and we have not used it before, so I'm going to tell you what it does. We are going to pass that image over here, which is the HSV image, and now we have to pass the two limits over here, right? And we are going to call it as mask. So what we are doing over here is we are trying to create a mask variable by using the OpenCV function, which is called as InRange, in which we have passed the HSV image, but now we have to tell the two limits to it as well. How are we going to get the limits? How are we going to get this upper limit and this lower limit? How are we going to do that? So to do that, we are going to use this function that I've already created in util.py, and I'm going to explain it to you how it functions, okay? So this is the get limits function. It is taking the color as a parameter, and the color that you're going to pass over here is going to be in the BGR color space. Okay, so you're going to pass the color in the BGR color space. It's going to convert that BGR image into the HSV color space. Okay, so it's going to take pixel by pixel, and it's going to take a pixel from the BGR color space, and it's going to convert it into the HSV color space. Once you have converted it into the HSV color space, it's going to calculate the upper and the lower limits. Okay, so you don't have to get into the details of what's happening over here, but as you can see, the first channel represents the hue, then the saturation, and then the value, and it's subtracting 10 from the hue channel in the lower limit, and it's adding 10 in the hue channel in the upper limit. Okay, and it's keeping the values of saturation and value as 100 in the lower limit, just so that it ignores the very dull values and the dull colors, and in the upper limit we have set the values to 255 and 255 so that it can even detect a color that has a very high saturation or very high brightness. Okay, so this is what we've done, and then we have just converted the lower limits and the upper limits into the numpy arrays, and we have then returned the two numpy arrays, the lower limit and the upper limit. So this function is just going to convert the BGR color pixel into the HSV color pixel, and then it's going to calculate the two limits for us, the upper limit and the lower limit. So that's good, right? So if I want the upper limit and the lower limit values, I first have to call this function. If I want to call this function, I first have to import this function. So I'm going to say from import, from util, I need to import this get limits. And once I've done that, what I can do is I can call this function over here, get limits, and inside it, I'm going to pass the color. Okay, the color whose limits I want. Okay, so first let's do this. Let's define that color. Since I want to define my yellow color in BGR space, so I'm going to do that. So B value would be 0, then G value would be 255, and the R value would also be 255. So make sure this is the BGR value. Okay, it must be in the BGR color space. So once I define the yellow color, I am going to pass the color over here, because if you can see over here, we have to pass a color over here. Okay, so we are going to pass the yellow color over here, and we are going to this function is going to return the lower limit and the upper limit, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to save the result of this function in these two variables. So now I have the upper limit. Now I have the upper limit and the lower limit. So what I can do is I can pass these upper limits and the lower limits inside my in range function. Now I'll tell you what this in range function does. This in range function is having the lower limit and the upper limit. It's also having the HSV image, right? And it's creating a mask variable. To understand this, you can think of it like a threshold. Okay, any pixel value in the HSV image, any pixel value in the HSV image that lies between the lower limit and the upper limit is going to become 255 or a white pixel. Okay, any value that lies within the range, which is the yellow range for us, is going to become white, and any pixel in the HSV image that lies outside this range, outside this limits, is going to be black. And I think that's a very easy explanation of this concept, because that's what happens in a threshold, right? If it's within the threshold, it's either it becomes black. If it's not, it becomes white. But in this, it's happening that if it's in the limit, it's going to become white, and if it's not in the limit, it's going to become black. And for ease, I'm going to visualize it. So instead of the frame, I'm going to visualize the mask, and you can see for yourself how this works. So see, I am getting a black screen. That's because I don't have any yellow object in the background. Now what if I bring a yellow object in front of my webcam? So see, it has masked the object. The object whose pixel values lie within the range, they are now white, but anything else in the background that is not yellow is black. Okay, so this is how we detect the color. And you know what, we are halfway there. We have detected the object by using this mask. By creating this mask, we are able to detect the color. Okay, we were able to detect the yellow color. That color yellow was appearing in front of us in the white color, and the background was black. So we are halfway there. The only thing that is left is to create a bounding box. Okay, we have to now create a bounding box around our object. Okay, so to do that, we are going to use our pillow library. Okay, we are going to use a pillow library, and I'll tell you why we're going to use a pillow library. Why do we need that library in the first place? So we are going to say from pill import image. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to come over here. Okay, now we are going to create a variable. We are going to call it as mask underscore, and we are going to use that image that we just imported from a pillow library, and we are going to say from array, and over here we are going to pass the mask. This function is just converting our numpy array into the pillow object. Okay, because by default anything you will realize in OpenCV is a numpy array, right? Any image in OpenCV is a numpy array, right? So we are going to convert the numpy array into a pillow object, and we're going to call that object as mask underscore. And the reason why we did that was because pillow library has a function which is called as get box. Okay, get b box. Okay, so this get b box function helps us get the bounding box of the object. Okay, so the reason why we converted into the pillow library was because we wanted to use this function. Okay, and if we wanted to use this function, we needed the pillow object. That is why we just converted it into the pillow object. There was no other reason. Okay, so we are going to call this bounding box that we get as b box. Okay, so now this function will retrieve the bounding box for us, and let's print it and see how does this bounding box even looks like. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am again going to run my webcam. So as you can see, I'm getting none over here. This means that it has not detected any yellow value, right? So that is why there is no bounding box. The value of the bounding box is none if there is no yellow color or no object that you want to detect actually. But once I bring the yellow color, yellow object inside my webcam, what it's doing is it's telling the positions. The bounding box is now telling the positions, right? So that is why the value of the bounding box is not none. It's telling you the coordinates. It's telling you the coordinates of the bounding box. Okay. So now instead of printing the bounding box, what we're going to do is we are going to store these values. Okay. We are going to store these values somewhere so that we can draw the bounding box, because this is just retrieving the values of the coordinates of the bounding box, but it's not drawing it. So we are going to say that if the bounding box is not none, because if it's none, we don't even need it, right? So we're going to say if the value of the bounding box is not none, you can retrieve its values, the x1, y1, x2 and y2 from the bounding box. Okay, and once you do that, you can visualize it. You can visualize the bounding box. And how to visualize the bounding box? We have been doing it. We have been using the rectangle function of the OpenCV to visualize the bounding box. So first we have to pass the image, so that is called as frame on which we want to visualize. Then we have to pass the top left corner and the top right corner. So over here I'm going to pass as x1 y1, and over here I'm going to pass bottom right corner for x2 y2. Yeah, so and then I have to tell the color as well. So since I want my bounding box to be green, I'm going to keep the value of green as 255 and the other two channels as 0, and the thickness would be 5. I'm going to keep the thickness as 5, and that is it. We have created a very own color detector, but instead of visualizing the mask, what I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize the frame again so that we can see the colors, because if I visualize the mask, it will always show the black and white image to me, but I don't want that right now. So I'm gonna change it to frame, and let's run this again and see if it's working. Okay, so this is my background, no bounding box, and once I bring my yellow object inside it, it's going to form a bounding box around it. Okay, so yeah, and I can test it with the banana as well. Yeah, so it's perfectly detecting the uh, colors inside my inside of my objects. Now this is a cushion. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's detecting the yellow color perfectly. So the thing is that there are a few things that I want to tell you guys. This is a good project. We have created a very simple color detector using a very few lines of code, using just Python and a few OpenCV functions. This is a good approach if you're just a beginner, but if you're not a beginner and if you're creating like some big projects and all, then it's not a good approach to convert your numpy array into the pillow object. Okay, so if you're creating some big projects, it is not a good approach to convert your numpy array or to convert your image into a pillow object to get the bounding box, because we have a lot of other ways that we can use to get the bounding box. Since this was a very simple, and since this was your first project as well, that is why I use the pillow object. Because what's happening, it's converting the numpy array into the pillow object in every frame, and if you do that, it's going to occupy so much memory, right? So it's not a good approach for big projects, but it is a good approach for small objects, because it's a very easy way to get the bounding box. Okay, so that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can try using different colors as well. Instead of the yellow color, you can pass a different BGR value over here, and the rest of the code will obviously be the same. You just have to change the yellow from here as well, and the rest of the code will be the same. So congratulations, guys, you just created your very first color detector in OpenCV, and I hope you guys learned something new from it, and make sure to stay tuned to the next one, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.